Good evening, everyone. This school board meeting of Alachua County, March 3rd, 2020, is now being called to order. Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First, I would like to introduce Diana Rollo, who is our coordinator for fine arts, and she's going to introduce our guest tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Chair, board members, Superintendent Clark, and district administrators. March is Music in Our Schools Month, and every year since 1985, it has been a month-long celebration when schools and communities highlight music education and the teachers who dedicate themselves to bringing music into the lives of our students every single day. This year's theme is Music Changes Lives. Music is a vital part of a child's development. It enhances learning in other subject areas, helps students develop discipline and focus, and encourages students to think critically and work collaboratively. Music changed my life, and it changes so many others as well. Here's just a snapshot of what's happening this month in our music programs. Our middle and high school band and choral programs are in the middle of music performance assessment season. The Buchholz High School Band will be traveling to Indianapolis for 5 days next week to participate in a National Music Invitational Festival, and approximately 200 of our band students will perform with the Alachua County Middle and High School Honor Bands on March 18th at 7 p.m. at the Phillips Center. Our elementary programs will be collaborating next week to put on a series of concerts in honor of Music in Our Schools Month. The concerts are on March 9th and 10th at Lincoln Middle School and March 12th at Childs Elementary. These concerts are free and open to the public and will begin at 7 p.m. I'm so very proud of the work our teachers and students are doing, not just this month, but every day in their classrooms and school music programs. And it gives me great pleasure to be here to introduce tonight's performers. We are joined by the Madrigal Singers from Buchholz High School under the direction of Miss Lindsay Tran. The Madrigal Singers are a select choir of the top musicians singing pieces from the Renaissance era, as well as select other higher level music. They learn, rehearse, and perform the music on their own with minimal guidance from their director, which shows off their skills in musicality, technical performance, and leadership. Tonight you'll see they are dressed in period clothing to further enhance your Renaissance experience. And this group of students has consistently received the highest ratings at district and state level music performance assessments. They will be performing 2 songs for us tonight, and I'm going to turn it over to them. Please welcome, and board members, if you'd like to come down to get the full experience. And at this time, please welcome the Buchholz High School Madrigal Singers.
Thank you so much. It was lovely. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Tran. Thank you, Director. Well, that was really delightful, wasn't it? So fortunate to have such talent here. Is there now a motion to approve the adoption of the agenda?
So move.
It's been moved by Mr. Hyatt, seconded by Ms. Certain. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion passes 5-0. Now we're going to the approval of the minutes. First, the approval of the minutes of February 4th, 2020, the monthly workshop.
We have a correction.
Okay,
I'd like to, on page 2, where it says Ms. Certain, it says that's printed, Ms. Certain thanked Dr. Coggins. I actually thank Collie Blunt, Mr. Collie Blunt, for advocating for this for so many years, and I thank Dr. Coggins for accepting the contract, the consultant contract. And I expressed appreciation for all that both of them had done to get us to this point.
yes, I remember that. Thank you. Well, since we didn't have a motion before you made your announcement, so may I just say all who are in favor of the agenda as amended by Ms. Certain? Is there a motion to accept? Is that right?
We can do it that way. The bottom line is that the board just needs to be very clear on what they're voting for, and if
Yes.
everyone understands the correction to the minutes that's being offered,
Yes.
then we could have a motion to adopt the minutes as described.
I'll make a motion to adopt the minutes as corrected by Ms. Certain.
Second.
All right, it's moved and seconded. Any discussion further? Hearing none, all in favor of the February 4th meeting minutes as described?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes 5-0. Now the approval of the February 4th shade meeting of the board. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Been moved by Ms. Surton.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Hyatt. Any discussion on that? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
I got a question. At the
Sure.
shade meeting, are we already done with this topic? How can we have minutes approved if we haven't?
We're having minutes to reflect that the meeting occurred,
Is that all?
but it doesn't.
Nothing was said,
It doesn't cover the contents of what occurred, or it just documents the fact that it occurred. I'd want to defer to Mr. Moore on the updated, the status of litigation.
I mean, the litigation is ongoing, so it's not public record yet what we discussed, but the fact that we noticed the meeting and who was attending, the minutes now just reflect the meeting did happen and the people
I'm there.
noticed did attend.
I've just never seen anything like this before.
Well, I don't think we've done it since 2011, so.
I was here then. I didn't see anything like that.
Okay. All right, it's already been moved and seconded, so is there, all in favor then? Aye. Opposed? Hearing no opposition, the motion passes 5-0. Now the minutes of the meeting of February 18th, 2020, our regular school board meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Dr. McNeely, seconded by Mr. Hyatt. Any discussion?
Yes, Mrs. Chair. On page 2, Mrs. Surton attended the NAACP. I'd like to offer this correction. Mrs. Surton attended an NAACP luncheon at the Historic Cotton Club with guest soloist Miss Annie Pearl Curtis, who sang a wonderful rendition of the Battle Hymn of the Republic. She wasn't the speaker, she was a soloist.
Okay, I'll move to accept the correction.
Second.
Is there, how do we handle that?
We've got a motion and a second, so we should just call for the
Oh,
vote.
wait, I didn't hear a second, I'm sorry. Okay, so all in favor of the minutes, the correction to the minutes as approved, as stated by Mrs. Surton?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes 5-0. And is that it, Mr. Delaney? That's it, okay. All right. Now we are at board member superintendent announcements. Dr. Paulson?
I'm gonna have something different here. We've had a workshop for impact fees, and we then got a worksheet from Ms. Clark about different things. So I've been spending some time on it. And I went down, I want to go down and look at everybody that was at different positions, like if nobody had any kind of extra thing, no millage, no capital sales tax, no impact fees. They would be zero. And then if they just did one, I listed that. They did two, and I tried to do what two they were listed, and then then we had three, in which there were only 6 of those. But I did this, and I'd like to pass it out to everybody. If I could, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here. Pass these out. Any extras? I thought it'd be interesting. One of the things I looked at when I was looking at it, it was a breakdown of all the 67 districts for the millage, sales tax, and impact fees. And we looked at, besides just for the impact fees, when I looked at this, the ones that didn't have any kind of extra money that they're raising were mostly smaller districts. If you look on that front page, Duval doesn't have it, but Duval's also a very conservative district. Okaloosa's pretty good size. And, what's come across is that with all the changes being made, there's a lack of, you talk about equity, there's no equity. We have the most equal funding formula in the United States for the last almost 70 years, 1948 Minimum Foundation, and in 1973, the Florida Education Finance Plan. Like R.L. Johns from the University of Florida wrote those. And things like this, if you look at it, if you look at those districts that don't have any money that they can raise, most of them are small districts. So it's, where's the equity there? The larger districts can raise the money, the smaller. Just a little side note on what, besides the impact fees. If you look at the second page, you have the, just one, what the people that just had one thing that they were doing. And you see Collier, which is one of the richer districts, is a big, Bay County's a good-sized district, Santa Rosa and Charlotte. Pinellas is the only super big one that really is there, and Pinellas was one of the first people that ever had a 1 mil. There were 4 original counties, Sarasota, Pinellas, Gulf, and I can't remember the other one. So, I mean, that's interesting too, I think. And then, yes, ma'am,
The second page, you said they have the mill,
they just have one thing.
one of the other, is what
Right,
you're saying?
if you had impact or the mill, or the capital tax
Okay.
or a mill. If you look at it, the first, Baker, Citrus, Collier, Nassau, they have impact fees. Bay through Washington, they have a sales tax. Thanks for asking that question. And then the bottom one, Charlotte, Franklin, Gulf, Hamilton, Pinellas, Taylor, and Walton. Have a millage. You see there's different villages. Yeah, 1 mil, quarter of a mil. But it's also, I think it, besides the impact fees, it looks back at things that, like Pinellas, they use their half mil to raise salaries for the, for their teachers. And I think St. Lucy's gonna do that too. Yeah. So it's, it's interesting to look at this. Then there's 2. You see, we're one of them, because we have the 1 mil and a half cents. I try to keep these together. And Monroe, 0.625 millage. And Monroe's a rich county too, that's the Keys. And then the next ones are, that's mill and capital, which is the sales tax, then the sales tax and the impact fees for the next 16 of them. So those next 16 all have impact fees. The thing about it is, you don't know exactly what they're charging, because I know in our workshop, we're not doing, what was the percentage you was recommended in the workshop, Mrs. Clark?
75%.
75%, okay. Yeah, that's something you can't, and you see, the other next page is that those 2 continued. And then on the last page, we get to where there's a 3. And that's interesting too. Well, Clay has to. Clay met with us at our insurance committee, because they were at 4% reserve, 3% the state's got you. And, they needed this. Manatee, I think, was put in receivership, wasn't it, for a while? Might have been. And I think, then you get the 3 big ones, Orange and Palm Beach, the big ones, and Sarasota's had a mill, they were one of the original 4. So just looking at that, if I'm boring, I didn't bore myself, so I'm having fun up here. I have fun doing things like this. So anyway, this way we could look at it, it shows us, gives us information on everybody in the state. We don't know exactly what they're charging. Hillsborough County has, they get a sales tax, they charge the sales tax, and then they also have a sales tax they get with the county. So they get 2 of them. So I just thought it would be interesting. I thought I'd work on it and spend a few hours having fun. Next is that, we're getting to the end of the session with the legislature. So Friday, I talked to people at FEA. I was in an hour's conference call with Florida School Boards Association. And then I wanted to find out, I'd spent time with Alex in the morning, trying to look at what we thought the problem was. They up there, and I said, the reason they're saying that they're not increasing the BSA, and we're asking them to increase the BSA. So let me give you an example what Alex gave me. It's either a $40 or $50 increase to the BSA by the House or the Senate. Now, Alex says this new increase for the FRS is like 2.4 million. Correct, Alex? If you divide that by like 29,700 students, you come out with $81 for PSA, for every student. If you see that right there, we are in a negative posture there. Now, but they're telling us in Tallahassee that they are giving us enough money to cover this. And that's what our School Board Association lobbyists and FEA, they're trying to talk to them. And FEA, they asked me about if we get this information, I got back to them. I hope they go up and tell people about this. Now, you look at the thing about it is, why are we in this position? We're in this position because there was a cost of living increase that people accumulated for the Florida retirement system, and that got stopped in 2011. So, example, if you get hired in 2011, you're never going to get a cost of living increase at all. So when you retire, which most people at the time went into the defined benefit. I mean by defined benefit is you get a certain benefit that they guarantee. But if you don't get an increase of cost of living, like if you can go into retirement if you're getting 3% a year, and you're doing it 15, 20 years, you're significantly higher than when you started. And that's not going to happen anymore. And that's starving our Florida retirement system. It's going to kill it. And but then they come, and because they say that they need to charge us an extra $2.5 million in our case, because they say they don't have enough money to keep the Florida retirement system solvent, it's because they're the reason. So I urge our people to call people like Chuck Clemens, and call Keith Perry and our people and tell them that things like this, we need to give us a time to institute this, like Alex said. In the past, we didn't do this. Something like this happened, we got 3, 4, 5 years to institute it. But now they want it all in 1 year. So we need to get up to call people and tell them that we need at least some time to do it. At the same time, tell them we need to reinstitute the cost of living increases. And they said they're only going to take it away for 5 years in 2011. I talked to Chuck Clemens, and I told him that I've criticized Chuck Clemens, but he's tried to get this instituted for the last 4 years. Because after 5 years, they said they were going to institute the cost of living increase again. Now, they haven't done that. So I guess you'd say they didn't tell the truth. That's better than saying it and call them what they are. So anyway, that's something I think we really are worried about, and I think we need people to get on it. Thursday is when they're going to get the people to try to get the budget and go in a conference. And if you call them, you might make a difference. You might not. Maybe it make a difference for the next year. But that's important. Now, why do we? But they say they gave more money. Now they say they gave over $300 million more dollars, and they've given an extra $200-something million, and they said we should have enough money. Well, I talked to Alex, and I talked to the FSBA. They said the same thing. We have extra students in the state. So what happens is the extra students were never accounted for in this. So yeah, there's more money in the budget. It's just for more students. And it's, so that's what you tell your legislator and call them. Another thing is, I kept saying this, and I'm going to say it again. The required local effort is going to kill public education if it keeps getting reduced. I remember one night when I brought it up, people didn't want to hear that. But you know something? It's down to 3.71 this year. And as you see, what happens if we have a recession? I've been saying this for I don't know how many years. If we have a recession, how are we going to survive if our required local effort, which was 6.6 10 years ago, is now 3.71? Think about that. So maybe I'm spitting in the wind, but I'll keep spitting, and hopefully it doesn't come back to me. So I just said the cost of living required, and the 3% they charge our employees. That, you want to raise the salaries, but you realize when you charge them that, you reduced their salaries 3%. So these things need to be pointed out. We need to talk to our legislators. We need to vote in November. You vote the way you want to vote, just check it out. But it's important. So that's what I wanted to talk about. If I bored people, I didn't bore myself, so I was happy about that. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Paulson. I saw Ms. Clark's light is on. Would you like to go first?
Sure, just briefly. Last week, one of our Newberry Elementary teachers, first grade teacher Kelly Wyckoff, who was recognized as Newberry Elementary's Teacher of the Year, passed away after a 7-month cancer battle. So that community is grieving, and so of course our thoughts go out to the Newberry Elementary School and Ms. Wyckoff's family during this time. Many of you remember her son, yes, accepted on her behalf because she was hospitalized at the time and has been hospitalized since then. So I just wanted to make that announcement, and we've extended condolences to the family on the board's behalf.
Thank you, Ms. Clark. Mr. Hyatt?
Well, first I want to thank Dr. Paulson for putting this report together, and I think it really helps us to put things in perspective. Also, you know, when we look at the state, we'll have some things that appear to be an improvement, and yet other things we're just getting whittled away. So if we're, you know, if we're losing, if we're gaining $40 per student, and yet our expenses, because of the new FRS proposed legislation, is $80 per student, then we're not really getting helped. And so there's sort of a bait and switch, or just at the very least not full disclosure as to what's happening. And so if the intent is good, then let's see if we can get that clarified and do what's best for public education for students. I did want to mention one event that I attended was the K-12 Art Awards and Art Show at the Thomas Center. This was originally scheduled early in February, but we had that was, you know, where we had that sort of freakish weather that had to be canceled. So they postponed it, and it was this past Thursday night, and absolutely amazing. I think, yeah, I'd say call before you go, but I think today, or I think maybe there's another day or two, it's still at the Thomas Center. And to see the artwork, students all the way from kindergarten through seniors in high school. And I think basically there were 2 students pretty much per art teacher. And it's just amazing. And one of the things one of our employees, one of our most valued employees that I wanted to mention is Jana Middleton. And she does all of the professional quality framing. So you see these, our students treated like the artists that they are. And to see it's really a thing of beauty. And so I want to thank not only our art teachers and our wonderful students, but also Ms. Middleton for really making it that much more special for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hyatt. Dr. McNeely?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I had many opportunities these past couple of weeks to attend a lot of events and performances at different schools, many of them recognizing Black History Month, and I'd like to share some of those with you. First of all, I attended Idlewild's Black History program by the invitation of Carolyn Turner and her team. Wonderful dancing, wonderful history through music and art. And so I thank that school for doing such an excellent, excellent job. I love to eat. And so when I attended Lincoln's Middle School Soul Fest, wow, it was unbelievable. Mrs. Golston and team have been doing this luncheon for a lot of years. In fact, back in the 70s, Jackie Polk and Mrs. Golston headed up that activity. So I want to thank them for the continuation, the legacy that they have in doing that, and the wonderful, wonderful pig feed. That was my favorite. I attended an amazing activity at Rawlins, and I'm going to combine them because I went twice in 1 week, really 3 times in 1 week. But one of the activities was the Soul Train. I don't know if you all remember Don Cornelius, but they even had Don to show up for that performance. And the children really demonstrated good old soul music, and that hit me quite well. So thank you to the students, and I think that's Mrs. Kuczynski, I hope I didn't murder your name, and her team for such an excellent way of showing the talent that you have at Rawlins. Now, the other activity at Rawlins I thought was amazing as well. Can you imagine a wax museum in the auditorium, and when you push the button on the child's chest or dress or whatever, they came alive. And they were notable African Americans that they represented. And it is my understanding that they did all of the research, they did all of the posters, and so I want to say to those students, that's one of my favorites. That was one of my favorite activities that I visited. And I want to thank Michael Graham, Michelle O'Neill, and I hope I don't murder this name, Ricky Levigue. They were 3rd grade team teachers who came up with the idea, and I tell you, I hope it was recorded because it's something to look at and to see, especially all of the notable African Americans that I visited. Well, I was looking at my list. I think Miss Nicole Harris at Gainesville High School was absolutely superb. I don't know if Mrs. Certain, do you remember what grade was, or was it a combination? Combination of grades. But to go in and watch this research of the high school students, oh my, and the costuming, the dance, I've got it videoed if anybody wants to see that. But it was wonderful. And Mrs. Harris and your team, I want to extend a hearty invitation to you, maybe before the school ends this year, that some of your kids will come here and represent your group at a board meeting. That I would love. So I just want to thank everyone who did so much. And there were many activities that I didn't make because you can't be everywhere at the same time. But those that I did attend, I thank you for the invitation. And I look forward to many other invites before the school ends. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Dr. McNeely. Ms. Certain.
Thank you. So I won't belabor the point because Dr. McNeil and I were kind of on the same trail, but I do want to commend Ms. Nicole Harris at Gainesville High School. And she didn't have a team, she had 4 volunteers. And poor thing was running around, but the students, her idea of doing this African diaspora fair, African American history fair, and she showed the impact of African Americans throughout the world, not just in America, but throughout the world. I mean, every continent, every country that they were in, they had a very good variety, but the students did superb work. They kind of stressed her out because they were so, you know how some of the students are last minute to get anything done. But as Dr. McNeely said, the African dance, the costuming, just kings and queens, the research that they did into their figures, and they sort of had, they were in character and they had a little hand. So when you touched the hand of the older students, then they would share the research from their facts. But Ms. Harris is a jewel to our district. We have a lot of good educators, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm afraid we might lose her, but she's a jewel. And what I have noticed about Ms. Harris, and whatever she undertakes, if the standard is at B, she's always at Z. Always takes it a step higher. I mean, she was the leader of the Canes on the Mic thing. She started that from scratch, and folks are still talking about that, the Gainesville High School Poetry Club. But I'm gonna tell you, what she did with the history fair this year is, it was phenomenal. She put out a call to the community to support her financially. She had some money from the history department and all, but the community really gave her what she asked for, a little bit more than what she asked for, so that she had the freedom to buy costumes and gift cards, and some of the costuming, she purchased period costumes for people, but she also had a seamstress that came, and actually she just paid for the material, and the lady gave her the labor for free, which was really something. And then they came and set up a booth as well, the seamstress and her husband, and that detailed some of the messages or what the symbolism in African fabric is, as well as some of the phrases and languages you could learn. So I think it was a very good coming together of the community, and just stellar work and implementation of an idea by a teacher and her team, and the students, I think, are better for it. One of the students that, unsolicited to me, she's a senior, said that when she found out Ms. Harris was teaching African American history, decided to take the class, but she says, I will always remember her. I had her for English, and when I found out she was teaching this, because she just challenged me so much, and I didn't even ask her that. She gave me her facts on Ida B. Wells and talked about our board, and then she concluded by saying that. And so I told Ms. Harris to just kind of be encouraged. I know she was tired and stressed out, but that's the type of thing I think that keeps an employee going. And she's special to our district and to her students. So I would like to just say that. And Dr. Paulson, I thank you for the analysis that you did, and would just like to reiterate a couple of the points that Dr. Paulson said, because I do agree with them. The required local effort, if it continues to be rolled back, it makes absolutely no sense, given the cost of doing business as a school district continues to rise. Healthcare costs, fuel costs. We'd like to increase the salaries of our employees, via cost of living raises and just general increases. But that's hard to do if they're constantly rolling back the millage rate that we're able to assess here locally and raise money. The other thing that I would like to reiterate, and I agree with you, is on the Florida retirement system now. And I would like to bring a little clarity. The 3% increase that they went to a few years ago, what they did not do is they didn't put it in the Florida retirement system. When the folks, they started to assess the 3%, they put it in general fund. So instead of putting the money where it should have gone to cover the pension liability, they didn't do that. And so the accounting rules, and this is gonna hit not just the state of Florida, Alex can confirm this, not just the school districts, it's gonna hit everyone that has a defined benefit pension plan, that if you don't have enough assets in your plan, they're raising the percentage of assets that you have to have in your plan to cover your liability. And pension accounting is a complicated thing, but you just have to know that you have to have a good percentage of assets on hand to cover your expected future liability. And it's hard to have the assets when it seems like they're raiding the treasury instead of putting the money where it belongs, So I think employees of our district and Alachua County and the state of Florida, we really should be contacting our legislators and asking them or demanding of them to do right by the funding. instead of putting the money in general fund and using it for all of the tax breaks and things of that nature. But, so that's something that as session comes in and they get ready to go to conference, that we all should be reaching out to all our local legislative delegation, but as well as everyone on the state, because we want to keep the plan solvent. It's not just our employees, it's employees statewide. And before we changed governors, when Alex Sink was our CFO of the state of Florida, Florida had one of the strongest retirement systems in the United States. It was in the top 5. This plan didn't get where it's getting like it is. Yeah, I mean, so it didn't get where it's gotten now until the leadership changed. So it's really important that we really pay attention to that and that we really advocate and really try to make our voices heard at the state level so that they will do right, so that we can protect the plan for the protection of the employees, our retirees, as well as the other retirees of other agencies that participate.
Thank you, Ms. Certain. I want to agree with you about Ms. Nicole Harris. She is fabulous, fabulous, one of the most outstanding teachers in the district. I missed the performance, unfortunately, but I've been to many of the poetry speaks, art speaks, I mean. And also, I want to say that it's just another dirty trick by the state to take money from employees and not put it in the retirement system, which is what they're paying for, and then sending us the bill for the shortfall. $2.5 million sprung on us. And as you heard Mr. Hyatt say, we're getting $40 a student and we have to pay them $80. It's another ploy to kill public education, one of many. I think Dr. Paulson would like to say something else.
Yeah, I just want to go back, in all fairness to Representative Clinton, he also is against reducing the RLE and voted against it, maybe the only Republican in the legislature, he said. So I thought, I told him, I said, hey, you do something right, you need to be commended for it. The other thing is, and this is a little bit off, House Bill 1, and it's where they want to take our union members and make them sign up every year. Now, it's just ridiculous. It's just something to try to kill unions. And if everybody knows, I kind of like unions. So, that's another thing. It's just, but if you want to put it in, you're also stepping on our toes for local control. And, we lose local control more and more every year. And I appreciated Ms. Certain for, you said too. And still, you never know when you say something, when you get something to do. Call Representative Clements, call Keith Perry. Just put their name in on your iPhone, their phone number will come up for you, and tell them that give us a phase-in period at the least, and then let's talk about getting a cost of living increase back in for our employees so they can figure they can join the defined benefit. APAGA, a few years ago, because they want to steer everybody to the defined contribution. APAGA, a few years ago, people that retired in a defined benefit averaged $8,000 more than the people who retired investing their own money. Because one thing, when you put money in the Florida retirement system, $100 billion can be invested a lot better than somebody's $20,000 or something, or $100,000. So anyway, thank you, and you never know, just we keep fighting. When they throw the dirt over us, we can still be yelling at them, right?
Thank you, Dr. Paulson. All this is important. Hopefully, someone is listening out there, and we'll take note. I want to thank Mr. Hyatt for recommending Xanadu, because I did go. He recommended it at the last meeting. This is the play put on by East Side Theater Group, and it was fabulous. So congratulations to them. And I think that's, and the art show was fabulous too. I want to go back and see who the winners are, because they were, of course, they're all winners, but I assume there was some judging, and there were some fabulous pieces there too.
Okay, we're now at citizen input. 15 minutes will be provided for citizens to address the school board. And it's requested that you keep your comments to 3 minutes. And anyone who'd like to speak, and I didn't get any requests, but you're free to come to the podium and say anything that you'd like to us. Hearing none, we'll go on to the consent agenda. Mrs. Clark?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I recommend that the school board approve the consent agenda as described in items 1 through 5.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the consent agenda be approved. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion passes 5-0. We're now going on to action items. Mr. White?
Madam Chair, a bid award for project SBAC H1902, Santa Fe High School HVAC Replacement Building 12. Superintendent recommends that the board accept a low base bid of $536,317 and award a contract for construction to Charles Perry's Partners, Inc., Gainesville, Florida. Completion of this project shall be within 150 consecutive calendar days from the notice to proceed.
So moved.
It's been moved by Mr. Hyatt,
Second.
seconded by Ms. Surton. Any comments or discussion? All in favor then? Aye. And the motion passes 5-0. Next, we have amendment to the school workshop dates from Mr. Moore.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The superintendent recommends that the board amend the established monthly board workshop to once a month on the Wednesday following the first Tuesday board meeting of the month.
So moved.
It's been moved by Mr. Hyatt,
Second.
seconded by Ms. Surton. Any discussion on that? We have our first one tomorrow, 2 o'clock. All in favor then? Aye. And opposed? And the motion passes 5-0. We're back at citizen input one last time to speak to the board. If you'd like to say something. I don't see anyone coming to the podium, so we are now at board member superintendent requests. Are there any requests? Mr. Hyatt, your light is on?
No, sorry.
Okay.
I actually have one.
I have one.
Okay, Dr. Manili was first.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to say to the viewers who are looking tonight, or if you should chime into the video tomorrow, it is very important for you to come to the 2 o'clock meeting on tomorrow. It's very, very important. Many of you work, and I know it's difficult, but if you could take your lunch time at 2, maybe you could get here. The same workshop will be held on the next day, on Thursday, at Bishop Middle School at, I want to say 6 o'clock.
6, it is.
Is it not right?
No, I'm just, in case you didn't want to refer to it.
Oh, thank you. But I need the citizens to come. The decisions will not be made on tomorrow or Thursday, but at the next board meeting, it will possibly be made at that time. And so if you want to have input, if you want to share, because I'm going to listen like the other colleagues up here as to what you are saying, and will help me make a solid decision about how we will move forward with our schools that will need to move off of their property for construction. I ask that you consider, if you don't ever come to another workshop that we have, you need to be to this one. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Dr. McNeely. Ms. Certain?
Thank you. And I'd like to make the request, when we have our monthly workshops, if there is information that will be disseminated to us, if it would be included with our board packet, so when I pick up the packet, the print hard copy of the packet, I can get that material and not have to read it online. So I don't know who will take care of that, but if I can get that information beforehand, I'd prefer to read hard copy versus electronic. If it's something that's excessively long, I understand that, but if it's something that's, that you all would normally print and you're gonna have it here at our workstation tomorrow, at the workshop, please have it with our packets.
Thank you, Ms. Certain. Mr. Hyatt? Okay. Then, hearing no extra requests, then I will declare this meeting adjourned. Thank you all for coming.